EFF was formed in 2013. We went around consulting our people on the options that we had, whether we should form an economic emancipation, non-governmental organization which will agitate for economic freedom, or we should form an economic freedom that will be a lobby group aligned to the ANC, or should we form a political party? They said we must form a political party. Then we engaged in the process of drafting what we call the founding manifesto of the EFF. And in that founding manifesto of the EFF, that's where the policies of the EFF are contained. So from election to election, whatever you promise should be aligned to that founding manifesto. So let's talk about 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars, for instance. They are in the founding manifesto. Expropriation of land without compensation is in the founding manifesto. So even if I so wish to get rid of it as a new president of the EFF, I've got no option, because the founding manifesto is not a subject of amendment. It stays forever. It's not a constitution that from conference to conference you can change. You have to make sure that you follow the founding manifesto. Then all of those policies are the ones that we've been advocating for in Parliament. In the founding manifesto, you find a minimum wage, for instance. We spoke about minimum wage in 2014. In 2013 founding manifesto, 2014 election manifesto, went to Parliament and sponsored a bill on minimum wage. The ANC rejected it initially, and ultimately in 2018 they agreed to it. And we were saying in 2014 no one must be paid less than the lowest paid worker must be paid 4,500. They refused and said a worker must be paid 20 rand per hour, and then a farm worker 18 rand per hour, and then domestic worker 15 rand per hour. If you calculate that money in 40 hours, it gives you 3 point something thousand, right? So which means the ANC said per man, people must get less than what the EFF said they must get in 2014. 2018, then fast forward, the latest adopted one says, no, they must actually get 27 rand. The good thing about it is that it's not now categorizing them, unlike the previous one which was saying farm workers, says minimum wage 27 rand. So between 2018 and now, if you calculate 27 rand, there's been an increase of 7 rand, and these people are now getting 4.6 or something like that, achieving what the EFF said in 2013, that no one must be paid less than that amount of money. So I'm using this to illustrate a point that we implementing that which is the founding principles of the EFF. Went into Parliament and said we must amend the constitution to allow expropriation of land without compensation. From 2014 fighting for that, 2 years ago, the ANC then says, we agree. Let's establish a committee which is going to investigate if people agree for the expropriation of land without compensation. Went all over South Africa. Majority of people agreed with us, both in public participation and policy submissions in Parliament. Agreed with us. The ANC, we came here. There's a hotel here, I forgot the name. We went to have a meeting there with the ANC. Very senior comrades of the ANC were sent there, including, I remember Bulela Ncuga was there and others. We agreed on expropriation of land without compensation. When we go back to Parliament, having collected this and agreed with them, they bring an amended motion that we will expropriate land which belongs to the state and rotten land. What do we do with the rotten land? Because what rotten land is not those things of wet land. And then how do you expropriate that which you have. And then they say we must vote for that. We said no. And then they went out and said they voted against expropriation of land. They don't finish it. They don't say this is what we were proposing. They just expropriation of land, but they don't explain what the amendment entailed. It's like Zuma when he went to vote for the killing of Gaddafi in the UN Security Council. He came back and said, I never voted for that. I voted for no-fly zone and stopped there. When he said, I voted for no-fly zone and stopped there, Floyd added that you voted for no-fly zone and any other means necessary. So that any other means necessary is what killed Gaddafi, and you voted for it. So you ought to listen to the detail of it in order to appreciate where these people come from. Not once have we ever compromised on the expropriation of land without compensation.
Get ready.
Welcome to